Three, two, one.
Easy, man. Welcome to the Pro Cess, the show where we break down the dopeness. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, dog? How you doing, B?
Let's see, because now we gotta rehab this conversation.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I'm doing great. Doing great, feeling good. A bit paranoid because of
Everything that's going
the
on.
times we're living in, but
For sure.
yeah, can't live in fear. So I'm in a great space creatively.
Amazing.
In a great space musically.
Fresh.
In a great space in the charts.
Yeah. Imperative.
In a great space.
Yes, sir.
In the game, yeah. And it feels good.
Feels good.
Feels good, yeah.
You look good, bro.
Thank you, kid.
Yeah, you look good.
Thank
when I
you.
saw you pull up, I was like, I hope he's looking, you know? Hey?
Intentionally.
Yeah, yeah.
Intentionally,
You're looking after
yeah.
yourself, my G.
Yeah, I felt like it. I was like, I'm just getting into my big homie bag and just getting out the way, let the kids rock out, however, and get into,
no doubt, dog.
Yeah, get into my experience bag and just
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
play it from, you know.
Let's go straight into that, bro. Like your experience bag, you know? You're 10 years deep now.
Yeah, officially as of 2021, yeah.
That's amazing, dog.
Yeah.
Amazing, dog. I think the one question I have off the bat, straight off, you know, is 10 years, bro. What are the realest moments you've had?
Yeah.
And the lessons from that. You know what I'm trying to say? Because it's not easy.
Yeah.
Ask me, I'm within it. You know what I'm trying to say? So,
yeah.
for real.
I mean, if you're playing the long game, yeah, you're definitely gonna go through it.
For sure.
I think the toughest moment was having to make the decision to go away. When I had to go away. That was probably the toughest time I had.
For sure.
The toughest time because
Yes,
of
why?
of making that decision, having to actually do it, and then having to come back from doing that. Because decisions come with consequences.
100%.
Which, when you make the decision, you never really know what's gonna come from that.
Facts.
You only know that when it gets to your doorstep.
Facts.
So then you gotta deal with that and the repercussions of that. And then you gotta come back from wherever the fuck that landed you. You gotta now fight your way all the way back from all that. So
Talk about it.
that for me was the toughest time, mainly because I've always been that type of character my whole life.
Okay.
Like who I was as Smashes.
Yeah.
And just who I stood as in the frame. Like, oh, that's the light-skinned nigga from Cash Time. Everybody knows exactly who the fuck that is. The girls die when I walk in the room, and
no cap.
like I had been, like that's, to me when I was doing that then,
Yes.
it was just on a bigger scale because it was happening nationally. But I had been doing that my whole life. So having to make that decision I didn't know life outside of that. Like I didn't know who I was outside of being that nigga. And
crazy.
I had to turn that off because when the Cash Time thing fell apart, what I realized was, so for me, what made shit tricky the most was the fact that being signed by Tear Gas, and at the time where they've just put out Darko Blue, and they are at their peak, and they are killing SA, and we get signed to them. So even on a production level and on a song level, and the standard at which we're introduced into the game is a high level.
Crazy, yeah, of course.
So when that fell apart, for me, I then get hit by the reality that because of how people were introduced to me, I can't make songs on that level. Not without those niggas. I have never put in that work.
Crazy.
Because I was just signed off being a fly-ass rapper,
I feel
just
you.
on some, come up shit.
That's
I was
crazy.
just a fire rapping kid.
Of course.
So that was that, and so me having to turn that whole thing off of being the nigga.
Yes.
Was
that type of nigga.
From realizing that I had that work to do, and that shit was in the way.
Sure.
The swag, the pretty boy shit, the girls, the fame, the smashes, just all that shit.
For sure.
It was in the way. It was like, I can't work and do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
How did
Not at that time too, because shit was crazy. It was loud.
Yeah. How did you like get back into it? How did you get yourself back into that dude, or into the person that you wanted to be? Like, because you had to shed the skin, but what was the process of?
I honestly think I'm still making my way back.
That's
I think
crazy. That's crazy.
I'm in a better place now. I feel closer. I feel closer. I think 2021, by the end of this year, I feel like I'll be somewhere in my bag. But like, I think my bag is like probably a year or two away from me.
That's crazy. That's crazy, because I was actually about to ask. Yeah.
But also but that's because of also just how crazy a nigga I am. So it's like, I'm doing some crazy shit, but
I heard it.
How crazy a nigga I am is like, I'm supposed to do some crazy shit.
I feel you. So there's still more to do.
Like a lot of shit.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. That was actually my next question. Like, we're gonna dabble in this 10 years thing for a bit,
Okay,
so 10 years deep, what do you still look forward to? For real. Like as a
fucking
dude.
it up.
Yeah.
Really fucking it up. Like, I'm looking for, so I've already explained that I've always been that nigga.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
And for me, it's like, having been in the game and having made it shake like that, and knowing the people who are there and experienced it, and I know niggas know. And when I decided to go away and having the whole game act like, yeah, we always knew you was not that nigga, kind of really offended me. So I've always had I guess, which is not a good thing, but I guess the vengeance of wanting to come back and have everybody like have to come together and say,
yeah, this nigga though.
Yo.
Yeah, but you had a couple of moments like that.
Yeah, but that's so exactly, right? That's what I mean. Like, I've shown flashes of, oh shit, and I've seen the reaction go, oh shit, from like people who know what that means, but I'm still catching rhythms. Like,
I feel you.
It's like when the step back is really on lock, then the buckets are really gonna rain. Like,
for sure.
The stroke is gonna be unguardable.
Yeah, okay.
It's like I'm getting buckets, but
I feel you.
Yeah, the stroke is gonna be unguardable at some stage, and for me, that's what I'm looking forward to.
The number one thing, that's what you're looking
like
forward to.
when it's like, yo, have you heard the tone that other artists speak of Drake in?
Yes.
Whether they like him or not.
Yes.
It's like, that's the first thing any artist wants to say is, okay, we all know he's the biggest and he's the best right now. It's like whether you're gonna have a bad or good opinion on him. Yeah. So I want my level of greatness and dopeness to be at that level.
I feel you.
Where everybody feels the need to make that disclaimer regardless of what they're about to say.
I feel you.
Yeah, Zingah is the best, but I don't like, then it's like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
Whatever
sense.
you say after that.
Yeah.
But as long as the room knows that, yeah, but it's the best though.
It is the best.
Yeah, but that, okay, we know.
I feel you.
Yeah, everything else we can discuss, but it's
highly
the best.
possible. I think it's highly possible, my G.
It's not, I am. It's
thank
not
you.
Possible. I'm the nigga.
Thank you, my G. Thank you. Okay, another question.
Yeah.
10 years deep.
In it.
Yeah?
In it.
Who are the biggest people who've like influenced you, played a role, influenced you, you know? And what is the number one lesson that they taught you? Do you get what I'm trying? Because I feel like there's some real things out there.
Definitely.
Kept you going.
Definitely KO.
KO.
Yeah.
Okay.
That nigga changed, like, I know he knows, I think, kinda,
Sure.
but I don't know if he knows how much.
Sure.
But I know he knows, because he's a great nigga, so I'm sure he can read it, even in me. But, yeah, like...
What's the lesson? Like, if you say KO taught you one thing, bro, for real.
Really doing it. Really doing it. So for me, when he signed me, right, when they signed me, I had never been in a professional, like, studio environment. What I mean by that is, I had never seen musicians that work in music professionally in the process of making music.
Okay.
Right?
I know what you mean.
Yes. So my first experience of that was with these guys, Tear Gas.
Okay.
Right? The best at the time. This is 2010.
For sure.
So
the best. And them
like
were hot though. Yo. So you were like Drake seeing Weezy. I got you. On a local scale, yeah.
What killed me about that was seeing this nigga was involved in the whole process of like every bit of the making of the product.
Sure.
Like in the studio, he's like leading like the idea of the song and the selection of the production and the content and the direction, and he's like, and then he's even like, I'd look at even his interactions with like maybe the engineer or the producer. It's like, it would be crazy to me to see him tell the producer like what to play and how to play it, but he can't play. I'm like,
for sure, yeah.
This shit is crazy. Or tell the engineer that, oh no, that's not the right sound, or that's not the right effect on the sound. It needs more of a this type effect. And then see the engineer change it and hear it sound better and be like, shit, how the fuck did this nigga? Because it's like, when you see niggas on TV, the only thing you know about KO is the fact that he's a rapper.
Facts.
He had this 5 verse that you liked,
Facts,
in and out. That's the only thing you know about him. When you see him do his verse on the song and hear he's a third of Tear Gas. That's all you know.
Yes, that's all we know.
So I'm seeing like, this shit is crazy. This nigga knows what he's doing.
For sure.
Like he knows. Even the arrangement of the verses and the reasons why he arranges it that way. I'm seeing that because for me, so him and I got very close.
Okay.
So he literally would pick me up every day, no matter what.
Okay.
It was so bad. My girlfriend at the time once said, yo, is he ever just gonna let you? It was that bad. Like she was like, yo, damn.
Yeah.
It was like that bad.
Crazy.
I saw everything.
Yes.
So I got to see, even with the making of our album, we made an album Now or Never with them and us, and that's how they introduced us. That's the album that had the Goodbye joint, right? So I got to see that from us doing the first couple verses to then him coordinating like sessions with everybody else in the building and coming back with him for mixing sessions where nobody else is coming back. Now it's just him and I. And he was there, and he's always there from when it's him and the kids, which is like me, Kid X, AB Fab or AB Crazy at the time, and then when there's Dukes and my E, and he's as busy at all times.
Crazy.
He's the only one who's back here for the mixing and the mastering, and he's telling the engineer how well to get it. And he's the one who's making the idea of the concept of the sleeve and the photo shoot and the dress code, and I'm like,
insane.
This nigga is doing the whole shit.
He's doing it himself, pretty much.
He's doing the whole shit. And so I'm sitting right there. So for me, that went into my...
Medulla oblongata.
Yes, that went into my systems.
For sure.
So much so that even when I moved away from him, when the whole Kersam shit split, that's where I got the energy to even become the nigga I've become now.
Sure.
And even to make the decision that, okay, fuck this, I'm gonna switch all this off. I'm gonna have to go learn how to do everything.
For sure.
Pretty much.
For sure.
Which is then what 6 years later, Sections at the Crib becomes. The album where I did everything.
Sure.
From scratch, from production to writing of the songs, and I've done now pop songs in there. There's an R&B song. There's like a drill joint. There's
that's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy.
There's Zulu. There's this tone. There's that tone. There's singing. There's rapping. There's it's like okay, Zingah, and it's like that whole energy is something that I learned from. And especially artistically and the level of involvement from watching him do that.
I feel you.
And then if you look at my story, and because when I came back then as Zingah, then I came back under the wing of Maporis. And I got to then see him do the Mafiki Zolo putting together of the album, take Mlindo from just a random kid from Durban to like the biggest pop little kid in SA, and we go everywhere, and it's like, it's crazy, and then get a bus, and then there's Shasha, and then there's me, and then
I feel you.
And then even that I got to see from close range. So
I feel you.
I've gotten to rub shoulders with the GOATs like in my life.
That's a real thing.
Even with the joints with Wizkid. Like we made those joints in person. Like I
always wondered.
I chopped it up with Wiz like this.
Sure.
Like this.
That's crazy.
So Wiz we had conversations so real with Wiz.
For sure.
Uzoy'thola was here, so he'll confirm.
For sure.
He was whiling about my shit that he heard at the time. So me and Wiz made music. It was the time I put out Hella Main, Get 'Em, Out of My Face, Request Out that. Yeah, that run, that little run. I was in my bag out there. Yeah. So he was whining about that, and he was just going off about, I can tell, because from obviously, artistically, if you listen to Wizkid, he's an amazing artist.
1000.
Drake picked him out and said, gotta fuck with it.
Of course.
And Drake is, even as far as the science of music, is ahead of the game, because he always even knows where to take it and can see who's the plug, who's gonna plug me, and he picked Wiz.
Yes.
Right? So I'm now sitting with Wiz at the Michelangelo in Santon.
And he's telling you.
From Pop Bottles, and he's talking. When I walked up on it, I was, my relationship was in trouble at this time, because the push and the pull.
Sure.
I'd gone to some wedding thing that a friend of mine, girlfriend at the time, I was there with her.
Yeah.
Niggas, I had missed the chance to see, this is a long story, it's a crazy story. I had missed the chance to go see Wiz. We were supposed to be with Wiz in Botswana.
Sure.
He was doing a show out there. Pori was gonna go play with him. We were supposed to go with him. I forgot my passport. Had to turn back from the border of Botswana and hike back to to fucking Midrand. A whole nother story. Very long, right? Very long
you live
story.
it, you live
This
it,
is
yeah.
now. This is now 2017. Was it?
What?
What was
Now?
it? Now, nigga.
Hiking from, damn.
Truck and everything. A whole nother story.
Okay.
Anyway, we miss linking up with WizKid and whatever, but Pori ends up playing WizKid my music, the music we've been making.
Dope.
Unbeknownst to me, I don't even know what's happening because I've had to end up coming back to Midrand. I missed the whole shit. I'm thinking it's a fucked up day. Fuck this. Life is bullshit. I wake up the next day, I go to this wedding shit with my girlfriend. Niggas fly back from Botswana now. They flying back in the jet.
Yeah.
And they landing straight to Pop Bottles. Niggas are at Pop Bottles with fucking WizKid.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's lit.
I'm at this wedding shit with my girlfriend.
Good man. You're such a
good man, right? I'm trying.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
Yeah.
But you still don't get the depth you deserve.
Of course, you never will.
But
yeah.
I'm out there trying, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, the shit was so crazy that when I met Wiz, when I was about to dab him, he was excited to dab me. I didn't get a chance to tell him how much of a fan I was of his, because he was telling me how much of a fan he was of me.
That's so sick.
He was just like, he looked for me, I was like, Zing, which one of y'all? And when they were like, it was his, yo, my nigga, I heard your shit, and he just started going off. He was in my ear for like 5 minutes. I stood there, I'm like,
this is crazy.
What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, yo.
Like, you were literally standing there in the middle of Pop Bottles, like 4 huge bodyguards around. It's like, because Wiz is like a real superstar. It's
yeah,
like
of course.
Actual superstar shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was just like a crazy moment. And so we end up going back to the hotel, and then now he's saying all sorts of shit. Already me saying that, kinda, I feel like I'm doing a lot, but I can't really get into the shit he was saying and how much he was, but it was a crazy level of conversation.
For sure. So that must like do something to your mind even, bro. Like reaffirms like what you know. He
didn't just say that, we then went further to live it. Like we spent like 4 days together. I spent like 4 days with WizKid, like consecutively. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And he fucks with me. Like, and he like every day. It's like, it wasn't just the first day and then it was like, okay, then he went back to being WizKid. It was cool again. And it's like,
that's crazy.
That's how we end up, in that morning, we end up having conversations, we're chopping it up, we end up going to the club.
For sure.
So even in the club, he's WizKid, real superstars, doing the real 20, 30 bottles thing.
Of course.
Everybody gets champagne.
Of course.
The most beautiful girls in the country are here. Oh, he does that in real life. So we go to the club, we go do that. Right?
Yeah.
We're doing that. We come back in the AMs, 4, 5 a.m. We're chopping it up at the hotel. This nigga disappears for like an hour. Goes to his room for like an hour. Comes back out around like 7 a.m. We still chilling out with Pori, me, Jomo. Who else was there? I don't know.
For sure.
Right? We still chilling out. He comes back out, has like some green breakfast, and then sat on the carpet yoga style, put the mic up, and started recording his verse on my joint, the one that Burner was on as well. Yeah. I'm sitting there looking at this, I'm looking at WizKid put the verse together for my shit right now. I'm like, at the Michelangelo in the middle of Santon at like 6 a.m.
I feel you,
in
bro.
real life. After coming from Pop Bottles and going to the club and doing the trading, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So then, being around Pori and his greatness and his access to that greatness and my greatness and being able to be embraced in those spaces has affirmed for me my greatness and has rubbed off on me to be able to also now be able to start my own thing.
For sure.
And be able to, I've seen it from niggas who really did it.
That is dope, bro.
Who are really doing it.
That is crazy. Like, I gotta just say, that's crazy, bro.
Like, man, I've never told these stories because it's just like...
Of course, bro. Like, where do you get the space? I feel you, bro.
But these, like, so these have been in my process. I've just been on God's time, just getting to my. So that's another thing that makes me say like, as well as things are going now, it's like it's cool, but
yes,
like I'm excited to do like crazy shit.
I feel you, my G.
Crazy shit.
I feel you. That's fresh, dog. I think I want to ask you something a little bit more practical. You know, the past 10 years, you've gone from working with Cash Time, working with Pori. You know,
Yeah.
How have you approached the business? You know, and like. You know, the wave right now is to say like, don't sign to a label, don't whatever, you know. So like, what's just your overall take on like how to approach the business, how you've done it, you know what I'm trying to say, and maybe where you flopped, because that can help a lot of people too, you know. And then how do you approach the business?
First of all, flopping is crucial. It's crucial. Like, we should probably stop calling flopping, because it makes people not want to flop. But that's the only way you're gonna know what you're doing, especially if you're doing your own thing. Now, business is you doing your own thing.
Okay.
By nature. You have to be creating something to be able to get into business on any level.
Any industry.
You are creating something. You have to create a business, right? So, where was I going with that? I went too far into the business.
Yeah, just creating your own. Like you have to
yes,
work. Yeah.
You were asking me about the, yes.
Yeah,
so
how do you approach it, yeah.
You gotta flop. That's the only way you're gonna...
Get it.
Literally.
I feel
like, so I learned that going through the process. Like, there's just certain things that people can say to you, but you'll only hear when it happens. Like, oh.
That's a real thing. That's a real thing.
Oh, so then the voices come back to you like, oh, so when they were saying it was this. Right?
True.
So you have to. That's how you learn.
Okay.
Especially if you want to be, you're gonna get to a space where you are your own boss, because then you gotta know your space better than anybody else that you bring into the space.
Sure.
So you have to have gone through it.
Sure.
So I don't know if I can see anything in my process as a flop, because it was what was meant to happen at that time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten here wherever I'm at now, and I wouldn't be going where I'm going.
Yes.
So it happened because then it taught me whatever it taught me, and then that then created this that then lands me here, and
that's a real thing.
Right. That's just the science of life.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you a practical question.
Yes.
You know, a business question. Past 10 years. You know. How have you approached it? You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And what's your take on the independent and signing thing? You know what I'm trying to say? Because a lot of people now just say don't do it, but it's like there's a reality to deal with in real life. You know? So yeah.
So I think, as far as that, every situation is dependent on where the individual is at.
For sure.
Like, for me to even end up at Sony, right?
Yes. Yes.
I was at the time at Pori Land, which is Pori Studio, working with him and working on helping with the writing with the Mlindo album. Helping on the Uzoy'thola album. I did the Walkie Para joint. I wrote that song. That song went off.
You wrote that? So you're a songwriter too, man?
Yeah, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the songwriter thing started happening at Pori's.
Yes.
When I started working with Pori.
Okay.
Because he noticed how good a writer I was on the rap shit. So whenever he'd have artists that aren't good at writing, he'd be like, yo, just write a little you know,
For sure.
something let's
Yeah.
just help them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's how I became a writer.
Dope.
A songwriter, and then he started putting me in real stuff like
Mm-hmm.
sessions with Uzoy'thola, like I said.
Mm.
I was in the room when they were doing the Shikana remix for Suited. That was with Mr. Easy.
Of course.
Yeah, that
Talk
was
about
dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing it EP5. The first one was written by me,
Yeah.
and I wrote on the second one as well,
Dope. That is
which
dope.
Beyonce ended up posting when she posted about her stay in SA when they came out here. All that shit, like that song, we still sign off deals to this day because it's being used on so many different projects, on Netflix, on ads, on TV.
Crazy. That is crazy.
And so, right, and I'm getting to the point of the business, right?
Yeah, that is crazy.
So for me, even with the labels, I had worked with the labels because I had worked with their artists, and I had ended up in their paperwork and had signed off on things. So by the time we were talking about making my deal,
It was a different type of conversation.
it's like,
yeah, it's not even difficult.
it's
to have.
business. It's like, okay, because we know what you do. It had nothing to do with, so that's another thing that is sort of my favorite thing about my journey.
Yes.
My accolades are nowhere linked to hype. Like, it's all linked to the credit of the work. It's not like I didn't work with Wizkid because I was the biggest artist in SA.
Talk about it.
It's because he fucked with the song.
Talk about it.
And he wanted to jump on it. And he was like, yo, I'm jumping on this shit.
That's real.
And not just him, but Burner felt the same way, and both of them end up jumping on the same song. This is in 2017.
Talk about it.
Like, that wasn't happening.
For sure.
They hadn't even met me when they did that. That happened in Botswana, where I ended up turning at the border. That's what happened there. And then they come back and Wiz finishes it. So it's like, right, anyway. But so
It's
my
not hype.
accolades,
not
are
hype.
never linked to hype. It's not because I was the biggest, because of how good I am. It's the
sure.
credit of my work.
For
So
sure.
even my working with Pori and the level at which I got to work at, and my work
off the
speaks for itself. It's like, even when you look at the features on my album, Sessions at the Crib,
Yes.
like, I didn't make a song with AKA because I'm buzzing. If you look at every other AKA feature, it's
Yeah, 'cause they're the
it's
hottest nigga
business
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
business.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, he's hot. It's good for me. It's good for him.
Facts.
It's gonna.
Facts.
With me, it's like on an artistic level, respect
You can respect that.
of,
Yeah.
oh, you sent me this, I can meet you here, and I know it's gonna be a good product. Like, I made a pop song with Amanda Black. Like,
Talk about it.
So that even when you think about the level of artist that
Yes.
you'd have to assume that I'm on to be able to do that,
Of course.
knowing me as a rapper speaks for itself. So all those type of things to me in my life have always been at the credit of, which is how I like it. But anyway, into the business. So by the time we make my deal, what actually enticed them was the Jala song. When they heard Jala, they were like, oh, they pulled out the papers, like, oh, yo, come to the office, we're gonna, yeah, because they were always toying with the idea, but it was just like, when they heard that song made
Let's
them
go.
feel like,
Yes,
right?
of course.
And that song is in my next album, actually, after Sessions at the Crib, the album that I already have made, as I had told you.
Yes.
Is coming after. But anyway, so for me, right, even in that position, my decision as to whether I'm signing or not is linked to the level of business that I can do with these people.
For sure.
in the building with Sony, I've already worked with these people, even with their other artists. I've seen what they can do. I've been involved in certain things that they've done. So I have an idea of what they can do for me and what I can use them for. And then there's the publishing that we've worked, and I've now been able to walk into those offices and have different conversations there, and I'm now aware of the type of things that we can do in those offices.
Of course.
So this is me getting into
Different
the
rooms.
commercial space and being able to see how much my voice can weigh
Yes.
in different rooms, in different conversations.
I feel you.
So for me, I don't care, independent or
Yeah.
signed.
The work.
Are you doing the business? Is the business working out for you? Do you know how it's gonna come back as a check to you?
Yes.
So for me now,
That's a real one, dog.
right?
That's a real
So
one.
for me now, you might be looking at checks about this, that, and that. I might be looking at I send different bills. I'm a writer. I'm get involved in production.
Talk about it.
And I write in different genres. So I send different bills. I'm sitting in different conversations.
Yes. Yes.
So you can't look at me as a rapper and think I'm sending the same invoices as other rappers just because you know me as a rapper.
I feel you.
I do different business.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
even
I get
with
it.
my publishing, because like songs like You Walk Here Para, songs that went and got sync deals
Yes.
with like telephonic companies.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's money that's
a
coming
business
through
deal.
publishing.
Yeah, that
So
makes sense. Yeah.
now being able to bring in that type of money, you're able to come back and have different conversations
That's a
in
real
the
thing.
room.
That's a real thing.
That's all I'm saying. So business is business. Which business are you doing?
Yeah.
And is the business working out for you? Whatever tag you put on it, that's your business.
That's a great way to put it. That's a great
Sorry,
way to
it was
put
long-winded, but
Yeah, no.
that's where I was going.
But it's necessary.
Yes.
It's necessary.
Yes.
Okay, dog. I'm also interested in something else. 10 years deep, right?
10 years
You're
deep.
dabbling in this. You've pretty much seen like the majority of hip hop, its lifespan
Can we close
in
that?
SA. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like hip hop's lifespan in SA.
Yeah.
Like you've been a part of it, you've seen it, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
How do you feel about it right now? Like everybody's talking about like we're going through a crisis, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've seen hip hop come from like, you've been like, yo man, you're a part of the people that put it to a place where you can
Yeah.
make racks off of it. So yeah. How do you feel about South African hip hop right now?
Excuse me.
For real, bro.
Yeah. Those are the type of questions you gotta think about, because you may feel different ways, so it's about which opinion do you choose to share.
Okay.
I think whatever's happening is important.
Okay.
Yeah. I think musically we're in a great space. I just think we have no influence on the game.
Okay.
And I think that's because I feel like we lost our cool.
Okay.
Yeah. We lost our cool, we kind of gave it away. We let other niggas have it. Cause now, they don't need the hip hop niggas, cause the Amapiano niggas are as cool as the hip hop niggas. But they make songs we like more right now. So then, why need a hip hop nigga? You feel me? So, and I think that's what hip hop niggas have to prove to the audience. Like, why do we need a hip hop? Cause the Amapiano niggas dress like you now. They live your lifestyle, they popping the champagne, they on the couch, but now he's got the hotter song than you right now.
Facts.
He's got the shit that's banging out right now.
Facts.
Okay, so he's the nigga.
I feel you.
Why I need a hip hop nigga?
I feel you.
You feel me?
I feel you.
Cause the Amapiano nigga is as fly. He's getting into it.
That's
Let
the
me
truth.
fuck with him. Yeah.
That's the truth.
So I feel like hip hop niggas, I feel like that's just where the base, you can get into many
For
politics,
sure,
but I
for
feel
sure.
like that's where the basis of the story lies. Okay, cool hip hop nigga, but then what? That's just where it's at right now. Cause like, okay, cool, but
Hip-hop nigga, but then what?
But then what?
So as
that's
a
why
nigga,
they.
yeah?
So I'm my bad. That's why they're more interested in the Black Diamond niggas and the way they doing it. Cause they not, well, they are on the low. They hip hop niggas, but they smart enough to do business with the music that they make.
For sure.
I respect those niggas, but you can tell from even how they then came and approached the hip hop. They had the hip hop smashes. Cause then people are interested in that. It's like, oh, okay. So you can, so that alone tells you that the people don't have a problem with the hip hop.
Yes.
They just not invested in the hip hop nigga. It's just the hip hop nigga right now in SA. It's not really that nigga.
Yeah, I feel
And to keep it a bean, niggas is not. Because niggas is too busy with this fuck ass. Nobody cares, nigga.
For sure.
Nobody cares. And that whole thing was caused, I think, and I don't want to push blame or whatever, but I think it was caused by this fuck ass Keenan and Casper beef. Because it made them as leaders make things about themselves, so it made everybody that followed after that make things about themselves. And that thing is boring to the audience.
That's a real thing. Like, that's a real thing, bro.
Fuck that. And now the Yano niggas are more enjoyable. And they dancing, they having fun, they singing about good times, you know?
So you
not
feel
the
like
normal one. They wanna live that life.
Not the normal one.
Yeah, with that shit that you niggas are talking about out there in your hip hop corner. Fuck that. And SA is like, it's black people.
It is.
They're not here for that. They're not here for that. Like just from their nature. They're not here for that thing that you niggas think.
For sure. Yeah. For sure.
And that's the real reason why the shit is just not connected. That's why the Big Zulu joint connected.
For sure.
He's bringing it back to
the basics.
That's it. Just they singing about their shit. It's not about I'm the coolest, I'm better than who, and who's this, and I'm the number one, I'm the first to do, and
I feel
sick. That whole shit.
I feel you. It's a real thing.
Yeah, niggas are just bored with that shit.
What's the way forward?
Niggas need to stop playing with themselves. We all do. We all do. I mean, myself as well. Myself as well. Which is why for me, my music sounds different moving forward. And this, especially like this, and so another thing for me, this album, Sessions at the Crib, was me playing my hand at doing business, right? This is my first offering with the label. So it was me sitting across the table, seeing what I can leverage, what we can, we did business, we put it out, I saw how that works, I've got a better idea of what the business is, but sonically, the business I'm doing sonically changes from here on, because it's like, I realized that, I realized what I'm saying. So as dope and as amazing of a project as Sessions at the Crib is, it's just not that time right now to be going on talking about grew up on rap and pick up the phone and yeah, just not right now.
Just not right now, nah?
Not in SA right now. They really just want to feel the vibes.
All around the world.
And I'm not saying niggas have to go and jump on the yarn or whatever, but
of course.
Are you giving us the vibes or what are you doing?
For sure, that's the number one question.
So I think that's just the way forward. And niggas just need to relax, get over themselves, get over each other. And we all just gotta get together, but also I hate that conversation because niggas been singing that song forever.
Real thing.
We gotta get together and, you know, SA hip hop, we have to get together. And
for sure.
Nigga.
For sure.
Fuck you niggas. The same niggas saying let's get together, the niggas that think they're better than everyone and don't want to get together. So it's boring, but tonight we're having fun because I've always made the choice to do what I want to do, and you'll never go wrong doing what you want to do because you love doing it.
That's a
so
real
you're
thing.
gonna have a good time regardless.
That's a real thing.
And if I get to learn at the same time, get better, improve, and make money, where's the loss?
Where is the loss, right?
Where's the loss, my nigga?
My nigga, I think we had a proper chat, man. I want to ask you one more question. I think this is like a personal question, and I think other people also want to know. You know what I'm trying to say?
I'm here.
Like for real, is there a formula that you got, or a process or a ritual that you do, or words or affirmations that you tell yourself, you know, that keep you going for real, you know what I'm trying to say, over the past 10 years, looking into the next 10 years, you know what I'm trying to say, you know, what's been the truth for you, you know, through the ups and downs, because it's a crazy time right now, you know, and the truth is necessary. So what's been the truth for you through the ups and downs, and even looking forward? Like, when you gone, what we gonna say?
Firstly, how you asked me that question reminded me of something I say in like the outro of my next album.
Sure.
When you spoke about the decades.
Yes.
What do I say? How does that thing start?
Almost a decade in.
And then what?
Almost a decade in, and I'm on my debut.
Oh yeah, I say almost a decade in and I'm on my debut. Let that settle in, nigga, bet to win. If I've put a decade in at the top of a new decade, then you know whose that decade is, right? So it's like, if I'm starting a new decade, having put a decade in, who the fuck you think is taking this decade? The new nigga? Fuck that.
Come on.
That's all I'm saying, but so that's where I'm at, right?
Sure.
I think my biggest truth and my survival is God. That is the biggest and realest truth. It's just God, my nigga.
For sure.
Cause you can play any other game, but that's how you gonna make it.
That's the only way you're gonna make it, right?
Like, so for me, it took this long, even in my comeback. I'm a brilliant nigga.
Talk about it.
I'm an amazing nigga.
Talk about it.
I could have did this comeback in probably like 2 years, right? But having been a fly, I'm that nigga my whole life, left me with a huge ego. So I tried doing it myself at first. Like, I relied on my strength and my own wisdom and my own, you know?
Understanding,
Yeah, and it was heavy, it didn't work. I was fucking out.
For sure.
Cause of course, nigga, you're just a human, and when you get into that bag, God is always gonna allow you.
Facts.
Cause that's how it's gonna let you learn that, oh my nigga, it's not you. It's not you. Not at all. So he'll not get involved. He'll be like, oh shit, get your rocks off. Yeah, all right, okay. Go get him. Okay, Zingah, get him. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And Zingah, get him till you get time. Yo, I'm not getting them. Why man, I'm trying to get them, I'm not getting them. And at the end of the day, you're always gonna know who to cry to. And the thing is, God has a great sense of humor, because he'll also shit on you, like he'll flex on you. He'll hit you immediately when you cry. It's like when someone hits you in the mouth and then dabs you up to be like, yo, we good? And yo, just to little bro you, you know I'm the man, right? You took it and we good, so we good.
You're not lying.
He's like that. So it's like you in life and try and get hurt and then come home and be like, yo man, can't you? And then be like, oh, no, all you had to do is say so. And it's like, oh my nigga. And then like this, like easy. And then also he'll always flex and outdo what you was looking for too. Just to just be like, nah, I got you.
I feel you.
And we ain't got no smoke. You just were trying to do you wanted to be.
I feel you.
So I let you do it to yourself. But so it's like, for me, that's as soon as you align it there. Also, like that, for me, what that taught me is the truth just can't be wrong. Even when it's wrong. But it can't be wrong. It can't be wrong for your life. Is what I mean. So things can be wrong in the moment. But so whatever I was wrong about in my past was right, because it brought me here.
I feel you.
Right?
I feel you.
And that is only because I was being true in that moment to either have felt what I thought or I didn't do it for some fake reasons. So also, that's what I mean by the truth can't be wrong, even when you're wrong. Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Because you're wrong for the right reason.
I get what you're saying.
You were being true to what you knew at that moment.
Facts.
So that's why I was like, even with the flopping idea, yo, it's cool.
Yeah.
You have to, because
flop.
That's the only way you're gonna learn that shit.
Facts.
No one can see, you gotta.
Facts.
Yeah, you gotta.
Facts.
You gotta kick the table with the little toe to know not to walk that close when you're barefoot out there.
No cap.
Yeah.
You're not lying.
Before you've kicked it, you're gonna be swinging your feet with like a little boy, like feeling comfortable anywhere you go. Until you kick that shit and know, oh,
yeah,
I got teary when I kick that shit. What the fuck? That's painful.
What just happened?
Yeah, I never want to feel like that again.
Nah, bro, I appreciate that, man. And look, man, 10 years ain't an easy foot.
I said a lot.
You know, it's not an easy foot.
Yeah.
And yo, man, from the show, we just want to give you that, man. 10 years. Zingah.
Appreciate you for having me.
To the next 10.
Sessions at the crib.
Let's keep it
Go
right
out there and play it. I'm the best.
The process.
Hey, Nico. I'm the hustler of the year, Nico. I had to come up all these years, Nico. So you can try if you dare, Nico. Yeah, it's for the bread, Nico. So don't you ever think I care, nigga. But all the games that you be playing, nigga, kodwa ke asingakhohlwa ngumalume wayo lempahla. Ngibamba 2 puffs enaphasa angizile ngalempe nize ngayo webafu. So cela ningixolele, ngixolele. Nuyamazi umuntu okorelayo ngageju, uyamazi umuntu oshaya inqako. Yamazi umuntu ongakufaka unyawo mangathiwa kushaya ingoma. Ngibongeni bafana bami nganikhulisa. Ngabe ngisawo sikhotheni namanje ngashubisa. And I'm never capping. Now that I'm back again, this industry will never catch me, man. All that fuck shit should have never happened. But now that I'm back again in the building, my niggas with me in the section. Woo! Celebrating you niggas' regrets for y'all thinking I'm dead. Y'all did not seem like you cared, did not reach out to help. Bitch! Yeah, nigga. Ooh, are you in trouble now? I get loose when I'm on the loud. The juice is on autopilot. The Jewish in more than one way with all this money. Ola sibali akhonakala ukuthi kube nomonakalo ungabonagali ni zobona ngathi asifonelani si yigoqa fast kuba into yamanje. Almost a decade in and I'm on my debut. Let that settle in, nigga, bet to win. If I've put a decade in at the top of a new decade, then you know whose that decade is. And by the way, the drip still the sauciest. I came to instill the lawlessness. I need a thick skin, need a tip, drill anonymous to hit the crib with. You know the deal. I'm forever this real. I'm forever this brilliant. You know that I'm forever this jiggy, forever this pretty. You know that I'll forever make millions, cause I will never quit it till the day I die, nigga. Got it?